Alright, so I asked the question a couple times in the previous videos on these 318s. Which one did you think would not make it to the Fix a 318 time frame or program? This is the 318 that I thought of the 85, the 90, and the 91. This is the 318 that didn't make the cut. We're going to use components off of this machine to fix the 85 and the 91. This is the 1990. And that seems a little weird, but follow my logic here. And ultimately, I think what we'll do is, in fairness, this frame might live on, but this is the machine we're going to start with first. Multiple reasons that I opted to take this machine, and it's going to serve as the parts donor for either the 91 or the 85. One, the wiring slightly hacked up on this machine. The other two are not that way. It is the one that has most likely overheated with all the mouse debris and everything in the engine. It also smokes the worst. Now, at the same time, the 91 318 also smokes, but it doesn't smoke as bad, and it knocks. Well, that makes, well, why on earth am I not doing something with the 91? It's because this one has a leaking steering cylinder. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of walk through. We're going to build two really good 318s from three. We're going to swap some components around. This one, between the broken oil pan foot and a couple other things, we're probably going to take this short block and put in the 91 and just throw this oil pan away. At least that's my plan for right now. But we got to get into it. We have to take one of them apart before we can do much of anything. Now, all I'm going to do right now is basically take the engine out, and I'll take. I don't even think I'm going to take the hydraulics apart yet, but I'll take the engine out after I test the compression. That'll give me a good idea of where I want to go with everything. Now, the 91, I am going to test the compression on it, and there is a slim chance that maybe I'll just take the steering cylinder off the 91 and throw in here. But based on the feel and things like that, I think I'm gonna. The 1990 is the one that's gonna end its days of running around the yard. The 85, honestly, is it's not in bad shape. In fact, the 85 is kind of a nice machine. I really like the 85. It's got some differences, and we might do some swapping around of parts. Lost my train of thought there. Swapping around the parts and do some things like that. But for right now, the 1990 is the one that's going down the road. So what we're going to do, I'm going to test the compression on the engine. First thing I need to do is actually take the panels off to get all the grass from around there, because I think if I test the compression, if I take the spark plug out right here, we're going to end up with grass all in the cylinder. But I mean, it doesn't sound bad when you crank it up. The only problem is it smokes. And it's got a very dirty carburetor. So, at very minimum, the engine's got to come out and I got to replace the oil pan. I actually have a good oil pan over here. Sorry for all the fans and everything. It's not even that hot. But I have this oil pan right here that I might do something with. But we'll have to see. Maybe just replace the oil pan and go from there, but I doubt it. So, yeah, we're going to get to work on this and we'll go from there. Alright, so we're going to test the compression on this engine. This is a cold compression test. Throttle's all the way open, both spark plugs are out. Normally I don't remove both spark plugs, but somebody informed me last time that I should. I've tested it both ways, and it doesn't make much difference, but I figured I would go ahead and do it by the book. That way I'm not showing people how to do wrong things. If I can ever get this in here. All right. So go ahead and turn the engine over. We're looking at about 110 psi on this side. We'll go ahead and do it again just to make sure. $110, maybe 112. So let's go ahead and go over and do the other side. This side's like 118. Yep, 118. So actually, compression-wise, this engine is pretty good. Which, I mean, I kind of assume based on the sound. That's why in the first part of this video, I said we'll probably take this short block and put it in that 91. But we definitely need to do something about the cracked oil pan before we do much of anything and fix the wiring. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and do a hot compression test off camera. I'll run the engine for a little bit and then do a hot compression test and go from there. Now, the smoking on this engine could be from a couple different things. One, it could be from the fact that this machine has sat for so long. So it's sat for, you know, I don't know, 7-8 years or more. Not really sure. But if it's sat for so long, that oil most likely got into the cylinders and just kind of sat there, and it's all got to be burned off. So that is one reason that it could smoke. The second reason it could smoke is perhaps it has multi-weight oil in it. There's no indication of what the oil weight of it is in it. If it's multi-weight, then typically multi-weight will smoke a little bit more than just straight 30. It's not necessarily hot here, so that doesn't make me as concerned about multi-weight, but it's definitely one of the reasons it might smoke. So maybe an oil change will do away with that, or maybe just running it longer will do away with it. But we'll get this engine out of here, and I'll do a hot compression test to report those results. Theoretically, the compression should go up a little bit. If based on the age of the engine, I'm guessing it's going to go up a little bit. But we'll go from there. So hopefully you found this video useful. And yeah, ask questions below. I think I'm doing the right thing by tossing the 90 and moving to the 91 and the 85 to focus my energy on. The 83 is going to be a completely separate project because it's a very different machine. I don't know if I'm going to fix it or just straight take it apart. Really not sure on that. We'll have to see what exactly is wrong with the starter. The 322 series, I think before this one there'll be 2 videos on the 322, and so you know about that tractor there. And so ultimately we'll have 2 318s, a 322, and then maybe an 83 that we'll do something with. So thanks for watching. Just as a quick addendum, this is the hot compression test. This cylinder right here, crap, let's test it again. Leak down. So this cylinder right here is right at 112, something like that, and that one right there is about 120. So there's about 8 psi difference between the 2 cylinders. I think what we're going to do when I take this engine out, we'll go ahead and look at the valve lash and see if we need to set the valve lash, and that might change some of it. You could do a leak down test, but I don't have a leak down tester here. So but yeah, I just wanted to get that on video, because if I didn't, then I'd probably forget by the time I came down to editing this video.